Good morning and welcome to the workshop. What you can see here is my collection of 2mm fine scale railway stock. That's 2mm to 1 foot. I take one of these out. You see, it's really quite small. If I put it here and add a garden variety Stanley knife, you'll see that it's very tiny indeed. And while very enjoyable, I found the challenges working in 2mm at the moment to be quite frustrating, because it tends to be managing things like material tolerances and how viscous your flux is, and that's not as fun as trying to build something. So I thought I'd go with something larger. So enter stage left. This is a pair of wheels, which is wider in diameter than the length of this wagon. So this is N gauge, and N gauge used to be called 000 or 000. Then there was 00, which you may be aware of, and then O, then 1, then 2, and then 3 gauge. And this is 3 gauge. It's 2.5 inches between the rails, as opposed to 9mm. And the scale that this is in is 1/2 inch in model form for every real foot. So that's about 1 in 22.5, something like that. This is 2mm to the foot, so it's 1 in 148. And these wheels come from a kit from Williams Models, and I've got no association other than being hopefully a satisfied long-term customer. And that kit comes with these wheels, comes with a set of laser cut W irons and sole bar inserts and brake hangers. Comes with turned steel sprung buffers, lost wax brass casting axle boxes, the axle box ties, some handles and levers and brake hangers and brakes, and this ginormous body. This is so large I can barely lift it with one hand, but you can compare 000 gauge with gauge 3. You can see there is almost no comparison when it comes to the presence that these models have. Now, clearly this one's more expensive, but it's not that much more expensive, and I think you'd be surprised to know that this is probably the same cost as 2 large 00 gauge wagons. If you're thinking of like a Freightliner container set or something, and significantly more impressive. So I'm going to build this in 2.5 inch gauge, and the idea for that is I can then build a 2.5 inch gauge locomotive as a bit of a dry run to see how I feel about live steam, and constructing the 5 inch gauge locomotive that I've planned for Beechhurst, which is just around the corner. So with that, I'll leave you with this interesting comparison shot, and next time you see me, hopefully this wagon will be close to completion.